I should told you I'm old. I've been in the Foreign Service for almost 21 years. So just very quickly, I'm what's called a diplomat in residence. And basically my job is to inspire people to think about joining the Foreign Service.
My name is Darion Akins and I'm the former diplomat in residence for the DC metro area. And currently I'm serving as the deputy coordinator for Afghan relocation efforts.
How did you decide to become a diplomat? Was there someone who inspired you? What is your story?
Not exactly inspired. I had no idea what the Foreign Service was. This happened when I was serving as a Peace Corps volunteer, and I got to know a Foreign Service officer. And after a while, he said, Darion, I think you should think about the Foreign Service. And I said, well, I've got two questions for you. Number one, what is the Foreign Service? And number two, what is it that you do? And he explained his position and what he does and what the Foreign Service is. And I was young, so I didn't really take it to heart. And then fast forward, I was then working in Japan a few years later and was thinking about getting married and thought I needed to really think deeply about my next or a career, because I hadn't had a career to date. And that's when the seed that he planted germinated. And I thought, reflecting back and considering everything that I've done, that appealed to me the most. And so I took the test, and the rest, as they say, is history.
How does one become a diplomat? How does one sit in your seat today? Is there a specific education requirement?
No, funny enough, there is no education requirement to become a Foreign Service officer or to get into the Foreign Service. You have to be at least 20 years old and be an American citizen, and that's it. Now, having said that, the majority of us do have undergraduate degrees, and well over the majority of us have graduate degrees. I think what's really important is to think about it in terms of experience, applied experience. You want to take your knowledge and apply it. So for someone who's thinking about becoming a diplomat, I want you to think in terms of being a lifelong learner, being willing to learn about new things, new places, new ideas, constantly learning, and then thinking about what are the U.S. foreign policy goals and how do I apply my talents to them.
For someone who is in high school or who is in college, are there specific classes that they should take?
That's the key. So I'll take it in two parts. So if you're in high school, it is about having as many experiences as you can have. So if you want to do missionary work, sports, become a member of the debate team, study abroad, even while you're in high school, those are the kinds of experiences you want to have because you want to broaden your horizons. That process continues on into college because unfortunately, I think that too many students are too focused on the formal education part. Remember, the formal education part is a student's ability to acquire information. But we in the Foreign Service in particular are more concerned with how do you apply that information. So if you told me you took a communications course, then my next question is, what did you do to apply it? Did you do missionary work? Did you do Peace Corps, Teach for America, AmeriCorps? How did you apply those skills? That's what I'm looking for.
If you are one of those people like, this is not for me, I'm too old, this is not gonna work for me, I'm not really sure what I wanna do, then I'm the person you wanna talk to. Because I took 9 years to make up my mind about what I wanted to eventually do in life.
And one of the places that you have served in is in Germany as a consul general.
Yes.
Can you tell the audience what exactly is a consul general? Is it the same thing as an ambassador? And what was your life like in Germany?
Last part first, love my life in Germany. Yeah, we really enjoyed our time in Hamburg. So an ambassador is the president's representative to a particular country. So let's just take Germany as an example. So we had an ambassador who was appointed by the president and confirmed by the Senate. And the ambassador is the president's representative to that country. If a country is large enough, an embassy will have branch offices. Those branch offices are called consulates. And the person leading that consulate is a consul general. That was my job. And so a consul general has a region that they're responsible for in the particular country, and they are the ambassador's representative to that region. So in my case, I was the ambassador's representative to Northern Germany.
I have now been in the Foreign Service for almost 21 years, and diversity does matter, but not for the reasons that many people think it matters. Many people are hung up on, well, this is all about race, this is all about just trying to get people from different backgrounds, to have jobs in places where they've not traditionally had them before. And I say, no, that is not the purpose.
Why is diversity and inclusion important to foreign relations and diplomacy? And how does diversity and inclusion benefit the State Department?
Let me give you the short version. The short version is this. I have served on a number of country teams around the world. And many people will think it is, if you watch Hollywood movies, you think it's a great thing when people walk into a room and there are these decision makers around the table and they reach a decision very quickly. That is actually problematic. We need to have robust conversations at that decision-making table. We need to be vetting issues from A to Z. There need to be differing perspectives brought to that table. And one of the ways we do that is through equity and inclusion. And to the extent that we have a diverse set of Americans sitting around that decision-making table, the better off we are. The better we're able to vet the issues to provide a best considered view for the ambassador to consider, for example.
What advice do you have for aspiring diplomats?
I want them to see themselves as Foreign Service material, that anyone who would want to join and put the work into it can become a Foreign Service officer, a Foreign Service specialist. That is a possibility. Much like the event that we had in Baltimore, where we were talking to average citizens just saying, hey, what do you do? What is the Foreign Service? How can I be a part of that? That's what this is about. Having that opportunity to sit with people and tell them, here is another path, here is another avenue to serve our country. I think that that's what we have to do, is let people know that this is about serving the country and doing it on behalf of the American people. And so you need to be represented in that.